All right. Time to give people they victory lap, if you will, because technically y'all was wrong, and technically I was wrong, but I was right, and y'all was right. Somebody said something about Cash App, and I heard the lawyer say it. So take y'all victory lap real quick.
So he did that, right?
Yeah, in between in time.
Okay.
I mean hours.
All right. You mentioned at one point that he paid you with Cash App, and then at one point you mentioned he
I
paid
ain't
you
say
with
nothing
cash.
about cash.
So these jurors didn't hear the word Cash App come out of your mouth at
I
all?
said he paid me with cash.
Okay.
He gave me cash to go get the car covered.
Did he ever pay you any dollars with Cash App?
No.
Okay. So he gave you cash. Did you go get the car?
Come back. Cool. So we got that out of the way. Y'all all happy? Y'all know one thing. If Seti Nash get it wrong, he gonna make sure to make it right. But today was about who's lying, who's not lying, how good the defense did, how good the prosecution did. Who do you believe? Because I know y'all reading the title, Cmg Rico coming? Yeah. I'll just tell y'all the spoiler. She said the investigation is still ongoing. But let's get into something that I didn't even know that we didn't catch last time.
Moving on to the fourth picture. Could you tell the jury what we see in this photo?
So this is a photo of Mr. Thornton's left forearm, and it shows a gunshot wound and some gunshot-related injuries of the left forearm.
Moving on to the fifth photo. What do we see in this photo?
So this is the backward view of Mr. Thornton. His head is to the right and his feet are to the left of the photo. And you can see his arms, you can see some of the same gunshot wounds you saw in previous photos, but on the back view, you can see the overall view of the gunshot wounds of the back.
Okay. And moving on to the sixth photo.
This is similar, but from the left approach of the body, you can see its overall view of the gunshot wounds of the left, of the back.
Okay. And the seventh photo that you do?
This is a closer view of the gunshot wounds of the back from the left side of the body.
Okay. So in total, how many gunshot entrance wounds were there on Mr. Thornton?
Definitive gunshot entrance wounds, 20.
And were there any exit wounds?
Definitive exits, 4.
Okay. And moving on to the eighth photo. What do we see in this photo?
So these are bullet fragments of the right jaw. These are all the larger fragments that were able to be recovered from those wounds that you saw in the right neck and jaw.
And that was from the first photo that we did?
Yes.
Okay. The ninth photo?
These are fragments recovered from the torso.
Okay. And the 10th?
This is a remote bullet from the left thigh.
Okay. All right, and the 11th photo?
This is a remote bullet from the right lobe of the liver.
Okay. And the 12th photo?
This is a bullet core fragment recovered from the right chest.
And the 13th photo?
This is a bullet from the lower mid-back.
Okay. And the 14th photo, what do we see here?
This is the underside of a bullet base that was remote, that was recovered from the right buttock.
Okay. Can you describe to the jury, what is a remote bullet?
So remote is people use different words, you can say remote or old, but I choose to use remote. Remote means it's a bullet that is related to a previous injury or previous shooting, not the shooting that led to their death in this case. It's happened before.
Okay. And how many, or do you recall how many remote bullets you might have found?
There were 3.
Okay. So, Dr. Scantlebury, within a reasonable degree of medical certainty, did you render an opinion as to Mr. Thornton's cause of death?
I did.
And what was that opinion?
Gunshot wounds of the head, neck, and torso.
And did you render an opinion as to the manner of death?
I did.
And what was that opinion?
Homicide.
Your Honor, I will pass the witness.
No questions, Your Honor. Thank you, Dr. Stanberg.
Thank you, Doctor.
It wasn't about the 20 plus shots. It was about Young Dolph still having bullets in him. Now, from what we were told, essentially the one that we can link into would be the shooting that happened in LA. But even then, it's still vague because Dolph ain't talk to nobody. He ain't tell, he ain't squill, he ain't do none of that stuff. Shout out to him. So I think, out of respect for him, Dolph still went out like a gangster. Y'all want to see something funny with Young Dolph, bro? I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all got to see when he was getting away. Didn't get away. Trying to get away from the highway patrol. and he got on that bridge. It's a bridge. It's the 40, right? It goes from Tennessee to Arkansas, from Memphis to West Memphis. Man, they clipped him and all that. He looking like, why y'all stop, bro? It's funny as hell. But the defense damn near got directed verdict, meaning almost got some charges dropped, bruh.
Mr. Ward, you have a motion?
Yes, Your Honor. I was moving for a directed verdict, understanding that Mr. Cornelius has given some statements about it, that he was ordered to do it. I don't know if that rises to the level of a conspiracy or agreement amongst the parties. It was very inconsistent as far as that goes. Secondly, there's been no mention of how Justin Johnson is part of the conspiracy at all whatsoever. I understand it only takes two to tango, but I just don't see where the proof adds up to the conspiracy, and certainly not to the first-degree murder charge in count 2, based on the evidence that you've got.
Your Honor, the court is to view the evidence in the light most favorable to the state. We've heard testimony from Ms. Thornton that Mr. Thornton, the victim, was alive, is no longer alive. We heard testimony from Dr. Juliet Scantlebury, who testified as to the cause and the manner of death, which is homicide. And we also heard from a few other witnesses, like Hernandez Smith and Angela Arnold, stating that Hernandez Govan is the one that told Smith about this hit on Mr. Thornton and told him about the price. So all that to say, Your Honor, and also, Your Honor, that Justin Johnson was involved and was a part of it. So all that to say, the state would argue that there is enough for a reasonable jury to conclude guilt.
And Your Honor, I have no quibble, of course he was alive and he's since passed. I'm just, you heard proof that they didn't communicate for 2 weeks, at least with Justin Johnson, at least 2+ days on the phone calls that the government submitted yesterday. Cornelius Smith, supposed last phone call was on the 15th of November, 2 days prior to the murder. It was for 0 seconds, and then there was that code 11 that Garner talked about, might have been voicemail, that was 40 seconds. We know for a fact that he didn't talk to Justin Johnson based on the phone records for at least 2 weeks prior to the shooting. You're being asked to make a lot of supposition here based on what Cornelius Smith said. Cornelius Smith also said there was no plan. He got a call that morning, they got there, and they were just riding around doing whatever. Now the fact that somebody 3 to 4 months prior to that fact said to you there may be a price on somebody's head, and was it Justin Johnson? I'm sorry, was it Govan or was it Joe? You've heard both things from the same witnesses have said it both ways in uncontroverted evidence. And so I'm not sure, how do you have a plan when I say, hey, there's a hit on these people. Some point in the future they kill them, now I'm on the hook for it. I just don't see how that makes a conspiracy. Generally, there's been meeting in minds as to how, who, what, when, where. Nothing happened. It was just a generic, if you believe Cornelius. 4 months prior to the shooting, there was a generic statement that, hey, there's a hit on these guys and you can get paid.
Anything else?
No.
In the light most favorable to the state, the court has heard from different witnesses. There has been some conflicting testimony. However, the court thinks that the state has made a prima facie case for both conspiracy to commit first-degree murder and first-degree murder, and it's a jury question. So I'm going to deny your motion.
Make sure y'all got y'all bells on for the video that I have dropping probably the next day. What's today? Wednesday? Friday? Because I think they're going to find him not guilty tomorrow. So Friday, we're going to drop a video called How Genius and Dumb This Fool Cornbread Is. Because, bruh, he says some stuff, and I think he's genius for the state and dumb for anybody else, including himself. I'm going to play a longer clip. You're going to see 2 clips. This is going to preview exactly what the hell I'm talking about. So here's part 1.
Police warehouse?
Yes, sir.
All right. With regards to processing the car, can you tell the jury what exactly you do?
Primarily, we document evidence, collect evidence. When we process it, we usually process for prints, touch DNA, and just evidence like clothing or something, anything the investigator's looking for.
You also look for blood?
Yes,
You also look for evidence of somebody trying to clean up the crime scene?
sure.
All right. So with regards to this Mercedes, I think they used to call it luminol, and that's what you hear on TV, but it's Blue Star now, right? That's what you guys use to look for trace evidence?
Never use Blue Star because luminol requires more darkness than Blue Star does.
All right. And Blue Star was used in this case?
It was.
All right. So without getting into the nuts and bolts, you process this car with Blue Star?
Correct.
And if I were to tell you that a witness has said that he took a towel, put a bunch of bleach on it, and wiped the car down, Is there any evidence of that in this case?
No.
And you would see that with luminol, that there's bleach and things like that, where somebody's trying to clear a crime scene.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because otherwise people could get away with anything.
Correct.
Did not happen with regards to this car.
No, sir.
So if I said under oath, I got bleach, put it on a towel, wipe that car down, complete lie.
Yes.
Thank you. No more questions.
So, today, for the first time ever, you testified that you wiped that Mercedes down.
Yeah.
You've never said that before.
No, I ain't never.
You've never told them. You never told them that you wiped that Mercedes down?
I never told detectives when I talked to them. Nah.
Why would you not tell them? They've asked you every question under the sun about this case, right?
I said detectives. I never admitted that I was involved to detectives when I first got locked up December the 9th.
You know they take notes and they recorded your entire interview
Right.
from August.
Right.
Why didn't you tell them in August you wiped the car down?
Because we were talking about so much, you know, we should have my man problem.
And they specifically asked you, and you said
They ain't asked me that way you cut it. He can perceive the agent.
You don't recall them asking you and you saying, Justin said he had someone wipe the car down.
Yeah, he told me he had somebody wipe the car down too.
But you didn't think to ask him,
I
right?
told him that I wiped it down. He said you used the right stuff, but I got somebody else to wipe it down. You know what I'm saying?
So now you're saying you told Justin that you went and wiped it down.
Yeah, I told him too.
Why didn't you tell that to law enforcement who's seeking the truth from you, right?
You know, stuff sleep a person man too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Kind of an important
okay,
detail.
Like, they ain't asked me that I wiped the car down, so
You don't think so?
I don't recall.
When was it, if you can remember, when you said you went to wipe the car down?
It was a couple days, like around the same time I got the car covered, if not the same day, you know. I wiped the car down trying to get the prints, make sure there were no prints on
All
it.
right, when you were wiping the car down, what were you wiping the car down with?
Some like little cleaning supply stuff. I can't tell you exactly what I put on it, but I had a rag, had some stuff sprayed on the rag, and I just went and wiped it down.
All right, now was this rag soaked? Like,
Nah.
dipped it in some products, or you just
Nah, I
sprayed
just
it?
sprayed some stuff on it. I just sprayed some stuff on
Do you
it.
remember what it was?
Nah, I really don't.
And was it daytime or nighttime?
It was nighttime.
Okay, it was nighttime.
I ain't do nothing daytime.
It was nighttime. Could you fully see the car that night?
It was in the back, like somebody had pushed it all the way in the backyard, like probably all the way in the back. So
When you all dropped it off, was it in the same place it was?
nah, it was like in the front of the driveway.
Then Miss Vivian takes stage. So here's part 2.
You, if Cornelius Smith said a few years ago that somebody came by your house to give you $500 for him, would that be true or false?
That would not be true.
All right. So if Mr. Cornelius Smith said under oath that, like, you're like a grandmother to him, right?
If that's what you want to finish?
Okay, I'm just repeating what I've heard in court. So if he said that you got $500 for him to hold, never happened.
Never happened.
Not yesterday, not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago.
Now, if somebody was going to leave something for Cornelius at my house, they probably stuck it in my mailbox or something like that, but I haven't received any cash or any envelope for him.
So if somebody said you were specifically given $500, would be a lie.
Would be a lie.
All right. And I'm really sorry to call you. I know the last time you came to court was talking about your son's murder, so I 100% apologize. I know you were very upset outside. So thank you for your honesty.
Okay.
No cross, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am, for coming.
And today, I just want to make clear, you're saying that $500 was hand-delivered by Justin with a letter to your neighbor,
Right.
and her name, just to be clear, is Vivian Fifi, right?
Correct.
Lives next door to your dad.
Correct.
And you know that that happened, correct?
Correct.
You say you were on the phone with Justin and Miss Fifi when that was happening,
Correct.
and to confirm that Miss Fifi actually got the money,
Correct.
okay? Now, but you would agree with me that's not the story you first told law enforcement, right?
don't recall.
You don't recall?
I can't say he's correct in that because I don't know what I told them like when I first talked to him.
But is that the
I can't
truth?
recall the interview that I had with them back then, so I can't say it's correct or it's not.
Okay. Well, did you tell him that you told him the truth, right?
Yeah, I told him the truth.
All right.
I told him.
So, in that same interview, if that's the truth, with Miss Fifi, in that same interview, earlier, why would you tell them that some masked man came in a Chrysler 300 on 2 occasions?
No, I
and
did
said,
not say that.
You didn't say that.
I didn't say that earlier. I did not say that. Yeah, the madman on 2 occasions came.
You didn't say that.
Justin dropped it off to Miss Fifi the first time, and he had somebody with a mask on the second time with $300. That's what I said.
So, if that interview recording's got your voice saying that you and Angela backed up in the driveway to next door, and on 2 separate occasions, the first time somebody brought $500, and your girlfriend Angela got out and got it, and you stayed in the car, and then on another occasion, which is what you said today, somebody bought $300, and Angela got out and got it. You're saying that's just not it. Like, you didn't say that. Somebody else jumped in your interview that was recorded and said those things.
Yeah, I don't remember saying all that. I can't recall the interview. Like, I got to hear it for me to say, yeah, you know, I see it. Yeah,
So you get the shocker of the DNA stuff, essentially saying, yo, he never went there and cleaned that damn car. He made it up. You clean a car, but it's 7 different sets of fingerprints there. You use all these solutions and all this crap and everything, and y'all think that we believe this BS? So there's no blood in the car. You got shot, bro. So now we don't even know if you really got shot or not. So that story might be made up. But here's where it gets crazy. We thought we seen it all, and then we thought we seen Hernandez Govan take the damn podium. I mean, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Basically, like he was about to testify. Check this out.
Spell your first and last name for the record.
HERNANDEZGOVAN.
And Mr. Govan, you and I have talked about your right to testify at trial, correct?
Yes, sir.
I've advised you that I would recommend not testifying based on some of the evidentiary rulings. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've agreed with me that you do not wish to testify.
Yes, sir.
And that's freely and voluntarily. Nobody's forcing you to do that.
Nobody's forcing me.
Nobody's threatening you to do that.
No, sir.
All right. And this is something you are doing freely and voluntarily again.
Correct.
All right.
So those are the previews. Those are the free previews. I might throw another one in. Who knows? But those are the free previews right now for the bigger, longer video that we have. Now, they rest. State rest. Defense rest. The defense needed 2 witnesses to knock it out, bruh, in my opinion. And it's just one of these things where you could kind of see what they were trying to do. And I don't know if they did a good job. Who you talking about, Nash? The prosecution. Let's go.
1 communication between Justin Johnson and Hernandez Govan. 4 communications between Cornelia Smith and Hernandez Govan. Now as we get closer to the murder, November 6th, 4 communications between Cornelia Smith and Hernandez Govan. November 12th, 5 communications between Cornelia Smith and Hernandez Govan. November 15th, 2 days before the homicide, 2 communications between Cornelia Smith and Hernandez Govan. You heard it from defense that there was hardly any communication between Hernandez Govan and the conspirators immediately prior to the murder. But you see here that there was communication. November 17th, the day of the homicide. On this day, 17 communications between Hernandez Govan and Cornelia Smith, the person he chose to do a job. On November 17th, the day of the homicide, 15 communications between Justin Johnson and Hernandez Govan, the person Govan chose to do this job. And 3 communications from another number of Hernandez Govan, ending in 1460. Cornelia Smith told us that he left his phone in the car on the day of the homicide. Well, the call records show that there are no outgoing communications from 12:04 hours to 14:36 hours, which would coincide with Cornelius Smith not having access to his phone during that time because he left it in the white Mercedes. These are surveillance footage that we've previously seen. Cornelius Smith told
Whatever the name of the apartments are now, you all head where?
Oh, I stopped, got me a cigarette. Then I had headed to Pressure World to meet Mr. Govan.
You made it to Pressure World. You're still in the car with Angela, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You made it to Pressure World. And where is Pressure World?
On Lamar.
Okay. So you were at Pressure World on Lamar. How far is that from where Mr. Govan lives?
Couple minutes, around the corner, ain't far.
You get there. Is he already there?
Yeah, he was already up there. I jumped out the car, and me and him was having a one-on-one discussion. He was saying that he had heard that Dolph had shot one of us, because I told him I was shot. He was like, I heard Dolph shot one of y'all, and y'all blood on the scene. He was like, did y'all have y'all face masks on? I'm like, yeah, we had our face masks on, and stuff like that. And I got my phone from, because I had to go take my dad to work or whatever. And me and Angela had splurred off after that, and went to pick my dad up. He called me back again. I'm like, man.
Oh, no, hold on, son. I know you got a lot you need to get out.
My bad, my
his
bad.
position that we have fulfilled our burden. We ask that you, the jury, make a choice. We ask that you make a choice to hold the defendant, Hernandez Govan, responsible for his actions. We ask that you find him guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Thank you.
Now, I ain't gonna hold you. This clip about to be like 8 minutes long, so get your popcorn ready. If you gotta pause and do something or anything like that, this dude, Manny, starts screaming, going scorched earth, all of this stuff, bro. And to the point where you can basically say he calls out everybody for lying, from the prosecution to the cops. Boy, it gets crazy. Make sure you subscribe so you can win one of these right here. Y'all know Trump just raised up the prices. So if you think about getting one, you can get one from free from me. But let's go. Take me on out of here.
Pathological liar through and through. Next slide. So, Kate, this where Browning also told you that they last talked to Govan on November 5th. You remember an opening statement that told you Justin Johnson had not talked to Govan for at least 2 weeks prior to the murder. No communication whatsoever. But they try to tell you that, oh yeah, on November 5th, he must have talked to Govan. And then Cornelius last talked to Govan on November 15th. Just remember those. It was very specific that they argued. So let's go to the next slide. So what you'll see is, on November 5th of 2021, this is Govan's number. Her name is Govan. He's getting a call from Justin Johnson. You see this? This is the communication they had on November 5th. How many seconds is that phone call? Let me break it down to you. Zeros. It never went through. Where Browning also told you that they last talked to Govan on November 5th. You remember an opening statement that told you Justin Johnson had not talked to Govan for at least 2 weeks prior to the murder. No communication whatsoever. But they try to tell you that, oh yeah, on November 5th, he must have talked to Govan. And then Cornelius last talked to Govan on November 15th. Just remember those. It was very specific that they argued. So let's go to the next slide. So what you'll see is, on November 5th of 2021, this is Govan's number. Her name is Govan. He's getting a call from Justin Johnson. You see this? This is the communication they had on November 5th. How many seconds is that phone call? Let me break it down to you. Zeros. It never went through. There was no phone call for at least 2 weeks. No text messages. Nothing. And this is the guy I'm supposed to be planning a murder with, the most famous person in Memphis. Are you kidding me right now? All right, next slide. So there's an old movie that said the tail wagging the dog. You've got Cornelius telling him what they want to say, as he tells you he likes to do. And everything they're trying to do is back up what Cornelius says. There is no explanation why they didn't go talk to Jook or bring him down for questioning. There's none. There's none. All right, next slide. So just go through here. That's 10, 12 phones out there. Go through all of them. Find me a text message where a single human being tells Hernandez Govan, we need to do something. That's evil, that's violent, that's criminal. Browning told you he just came up with these slides just a day or two before all this happened. Because this is 4 years after the fact. And I'm seeing the slides for the first time. And the slides are complete BS because they keep misleading you about stuff. And so if the incriminating text existed, they would have showed them to you. They've cut off records in half so you can't see the rest of the story. Go to the next slide. We know he agreed with me that these text messages, there's thousands of them with Justin Johnson. It's about music because Justin was in videos and all that stuff and Govan was there. He was a colleague, a friend, whatever you want to call it. That doesn't make you a murder criminal. And we know he talked to Cornelius about pills. 14 communications is what they call it. What they don't tell you is how many of those 14 actually went through. What were the phone call codes? Remember, 11 is important because that goes to voicemail, or it could be two-way, or the call goes through properly. Is it a text message? I don't know. Last night I'm talking to my daughter, just about her boyfriend. Between okay, yeah, no problem, I had 16 communications with my daughter in a span of like 3.5 minutes. It doesn't mean anything. You can't presume you know what the communications are about, if in fact, for the love of God, they even went through. I want to show you one bald-faced lie by the government right there. There was no call on November 5th. Keep going. So we have the emoji, we have the 6-minute phone call, and you know this secretive plan, PRE, as his bodyguard told you, this is social media. They do this every year. This is what they do. Remember, he's a man of the community. They put it out there. Everybody knows they're doing turkey emojis every year. Most of you probably know about this. Next. All right, skip this. Let's go to the next one. And then we have this. It's not anything I could get voluntarily out of that man. We had to press and press and press to show that Justin Johnson already knew Joe. Didn't need our guy to do any of it. That is why you will never see a single text message of any incriminating nature. Because I can promise you, had it said anything, a comma out of place, they would have it plastered up here on the board and saying, see, we got him, we got him. Next. All right, so Garner, he said, MPD asked me to do what? Location analysis on a couple of phones, Justin's and Cornelius's. All you have to do is plug in a number on a computer. We could have done it. Hey, it's also pinging all pressure levels. Maybe more believable. Even if you choose not to go there, you could just ping it. You don't need the actual phone if you've gotten rid of it, because you can just order the CDRs from the phone company, as he told you. He did cell phone tower analysis for a very short amount of time, and then it just stops. Is this kind of investigation in Memphis we call sufficient to put somebody in prison for life? And none of the other phones were done. Where was Chuck? Hell, where was anybody else in this case? Right? All right, we've got this, so covered that. Go next. We covered the AutoZone thing, and I just respectfully ask, if the audacity to put a crumpled receipt in front of you that you can't read and just say, hey, Detective Browning, I just know this now. It is not mentioned in any police report anywhere. As I asked him, he couldn't answer the question. But now suddenly it shows up in the phone. We know Dabney knew this was garbage because they talked about the all report from earlier. You can't put a date, time, place on it. It's all what they call red herrings to mislead you. Think there's something nefarious out there and just use your imagination to convict people. You would never let this happen if it was somebody you cared about when you saw this. Some of you might be supervisors. If this half-assed work is what they brought to your desk, you would fire that person immediately. And don't say you wouldn't, because you would, because it makes you look bad. This whole county is a freaking embarrassment with regards to this trial, and the whole world is watching, and this is what we've got. All right, next. And then the last thing is you got to ask, if I set up the plan, I don't know if I'm having the murder car come to my house. And if I am having the murder car come to my house, why don't people just come inside and change clothes there instead of riding around all over town trying to find a place to go change? And again, I know you may think I'm crazy, but there's no blood in that car. Was this even the right Mercedes as far as that goes that they got? You remember Treon Ingram and another gentleman had stolen that Mercedes a while earlier. Treon Ingram didn't come and testify because Treon Ingram picked up another murder right after that. Where did the blood go? Cornelius told you point blank, no ifs, ands, or buts, and girlfriend, I took bleach and I wiped it down. And the lieutenant from CSI with 28 years of experience says that just didn't happen. Where's Angela's car? Remember, she said he was bleeding all over. Where's the evidence of any of that? Right there. So all I do is cross my hands and beg you guys, he is your peer. There is no evidence here. You would never accept what's happened in this courtroom in your own personal lives to make any decision of any kind. And he deserves that same respect. There is nothing here. They're going to get to come back up again. Remember, we talked about first impressions. You need to use your minds, your eyes, your ears, and your noses, and call the sniff test BS on this whole thing that they're about to give you yet again. There's nothing here. There's no solicitation, there's no facilitation, there's no assault, there's no murder, there's not a text message, there's not a phone call worth a damn, and they aren't telling you the story. Make them tell you, why didn't we investigate Joe? Make them tell you, why didn't we investigate all the people that helped these folks escape? And if you want to talk about conspiracy, how did he conspire or solicit Justin Johnson? Have you heard anything about that? Who's Jamarcus Johnson? Have you heard a single word out there? They're all together in a conspiracy. All you have is Cornelius' word. He's the linchpin of this whole case, and none of us would trust him. And we sure as hell wouldn't want him much. And then we have phone records that actually exculpate him. But if you make it all nefarious and have a sleazy detective get up there and talk about it, it sounds pretty good. He didn't do it, but you don't have to take my word for it. He didn't prove it. If this case gets a conviction, then I just need to stop being worried because the system's shot to hell. Thank you.
Then the prosecution does something insane. She flat out lies to the people. This is either going to backfire or it's not. And then she reveals what the title is all about. CMG has a Rico, possibly? Because she said this is an ongoing investigation. Remember what the cops said? They said we grabbed his phone. Big Juke's phone while he was alive. Not the one when he died. But whatever. Could be, though. They just won't admit it now. But her ass, she showed her hand and showed her ass.
Are you kidding me right now? The defense has just called the whole city of Memphis stupid and dumb. Everybody from the DA to the police officers to the prosecutors, he called y'all dumb. Called everybody, all one of them dumb. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? This case is not about the prosecutor. This case is not about Juke. This case is not about Justin. This case is not about Cornelius. This case is about Hernandez Govan. He is the person on trial. Not the city of Memphis, not the DA, not the prosecutors, not you, Hernandez Govan. That's who we are here about today. That's what this proof has been about. Embarrassed. Who should be embarrassed? Hernandez Govan. He is the person that made the choice to get engaged in this conspiracy. He made that choice. We've talked about choices. There are a few things in life that we can control, and our choices are one of them. What choices did Hernandez Govan make? You've heard that over the last few days of the choices that he's made. His choices led us here today. All right, police, they say they didn't do a good job. Convenient story. Something, novel. Because they didn't arrest everybody has to be arrested for them to do a good job. There was a twofold investigation. Sergeant Browning and Sergeant Dabney both told you that. It's very convenient that that part was left out of the defense's argument. There was a twofold investigation. Homicide and MGU. Those were two different entities within the Memphis Police Department. There was an ongoing investigation. And as Ms. Williams mentioned in her closing statements, this is a conspiracy. It's ongoing. Because they didn't arrest everybody has to be arrested for them to do a good job. There was a twofold investigation. Sergeant Browning and Sergeant Dabney both told you that. It's very convenient that that part was left out of the defense's argument. There's a twofold investigation. Homicide and MGU, those are two different entities within the Memphis Police Department. There was an ongoing investigation. And as Ms. Williams mentioned in her closing statements, this is a conspiracy. It's ongoing. To let you know that they were still investigating, look at the call records. Look at when those call records were received. Now, defense will have you believe that, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of pages of call records. There are. But guess what? You'll have access to all of that, and they're on a flash drive. You can search. You can put in the numbers that were given to you. When things happen, what happened with those calls. They're there for you. There's no hiding. There's no putting them aside. They're there for you to look at.
The mastermind part of it, I don't see it. I don't see it. I see a mistrial. I see either a not guilty or a mistrial. There is no way on God's green earth that people can sit here, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I don't see how, if you're not a fan of Young Dolph, how you could say the state did its job. What ultimately happened today is how true many Aurora's statements were. They don't give a damn about the Memphians. And this is part of the reason why the trust in the police and DA and all these individuals. Remember, the DA was clamoring for Young Dolph's freaking girlfriend, his baby mama, the mother of his children. Let me say it that way. It was clamoring. The new DA did the same dang thing, to the point where they actually changed the law in Tennessee. They don't want to tell you it's for Dolph, but 100% was. It's called truth in sentencing, which means no matter what, you're going to get all of your time done. They got that done around that time because the thing was this. Justin Johnson, aka Straight Drop, would have never been in position to even kill Young Dolph had they ever paid attention to his two previous crimes and stopped letting them out. This is what happens when we believe in people. Unfortunately, some people can hurt us and hurt us every single time they will. But here's where the state ultimately messed up. And I wish Manny Aurora would have did these two things. When they introduced the song where Young Dolph was talking about, hey, it's a bounty on my head, and basically got that timestamp to figure out this is when the song dropped on YouTube. This happened years before Young Dolph got killed. But what Manny did was say, bro, they been trying to kill Young Dolph way before all of this crap. They shot at him twice in Charlotte. They shot at him in LA way before all of this crap even happened. So he drove it home with him already having bullets inside of him, making it seem like he was marked for death. Rest in peace to dead. But the state messed up because they should have brought in that Paper Route Wu shooting. That should have been a part of the conspiracy. It should have been conspiracy to commit murder twice, essentially. Because that was a shooting they did on Wu. Wu basically called and said, hey, bro, they shooting at me. They're shooting at me. Send help now. Arriba, policia. Ahí. So I don't understand how y'all can come up with this conspiracy now that it's convenient. If this is truly about justice, they would have had sealed the deal. In my opinion, they would have sealed the deal if they would have charged Justin Johnson, Cornelius Smith, and Govan Hernandez with conspiracy once it was shown that Paper Route Wu got shot at and that they were going after Moochie Grape and all these individuals. That's a conspiracy. That's 3 counts of conspiracy right there. So I find it very, very fascinating. Very fascinating that this is what they did. And this is why I don't believe that they secured this victory. They didn't give a damn. They went ahead and said, this is the first person that's going to talk. His girlfriend lied in her stories too. Their stories actually don't match up for a couple of points because she said, hey, bro, yeah, I don't know who actually went and got the damn thing. He said, I sent her in there. Which means she couldn't get her story right. It's amazing how they remember A, B, C, D, E, H, I, O, M, O, N, O, P, W, X, Y, Z. That's how they painted the whole entire illustration. So for me personally, I'm not seeing it. This ain't justice for Young Dolph, because if it was justice for Young Dolph, it would be how these morons went ahead and attacked everybody. That's the Rico right there. That's the conspiracy right there. That's where they could have nailed it to the cross and he would have had nothing. This is what laziness looks like, and it's at the tax dollars of those who sit in that county. It is utterly ridiculous, and I get why Manny was yelling and being pissed off, because y'all did a half-ass job. And for those of y'all who talking about how to get Manny, he filed indigent, which means he had to show his records to show I ain't got no money. Some of these lawyers take these cases because they see the injustices that are happening. Now, do I believe Hernandez Govan set this all up? No, I don't. I think this an old nigga that was trying to look cool, hanging out with these young niggas, and basically, you know how people come hang out and all that. Y'all trade all these stories like, oh yeah, nigga, I got a homie who cool too like that. And you know, whatever. Like, that's how it typically goes. We would all be under a shit ton of conspiracies if these conversations would have happened. Like, oh yeah, he a squabbler. Hey, yeah, he get out over there. Yeah, you know, he doing shit in the streets. It seems to me Big Jook should have been arrested. Big Jook was alive 2 years after Young Dolph died. They were able to secure Big Jook's phone number while he was alive. This is absolutely a half-assed investigation. That's why she threw that little thing in there. It's an ongoing investigation. I don't believe that shit for nothing. For nothing. Because only time when they even talked about Prive, they didn't even say it belonged to Gotti. They said it belonged to Big Jook. That's the thing right there. They only mentioned Gotti when it was time for the label. But Prive, which he bought for his mother, Jook and Gotti bought that for his mother. They never even brought his name up. Didn't do it. Ain't gonna be no damn Rico. You think these people who just said Jook's dead, this person's dead, this person's dead, and this person's dead, but it's all on Hernandez Govan? No, this is the last bite of the apple, in my opinion. But if you disagree, please do not cuss. Let me know. I'll be curious to see anybody's rebuttal. If you could take Young Dolph's fandom out of it. Some of y'all, oh, well, Ceddy Nash, bro, you don't like Young Dolph. How? Hey, what are you talking about, bro? I'm cool with more people from goddamn Young Dolph's camp than anybody CMG. Matter of fact, the only nigga I know CMG is from Sacramento. If you know, you know the fella. Mize, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, I don't know these dudes. One of the ones y'all see me do the damn interview with him. Man said the name is man. Rest in peace, Dolph, man. Nigga, I'm just saying, man. Rest in peace, Dolph. So how the hell y'all gonna say that dumbass stuff? Facts over feelings. Emotions don't matter when logic is involved. Look at the bullshit that they did. They told us in the beginning, hey, you know, these messages meant this and meant this. They were calling, nobody was answering. Look what the DA did. They showed y'all the freaking numbers and didn't go into detail about it. How stupid do you gotta be? They played them like they dumb, and I think it's gonna backfire. I think them jurors are looking like, he didn't say that. He said they treated us like that. He didn't say we were actually stupid. You think we're stupid by looking at this stuff right here. His closing statement, overall, A-. The state, D's. Terrible. Ain't gonna be no damn justice for Dolph. Because if it was gonna be justice for Dolph, Jook wouldn't be dead. His ass would be sitting in a cell. Because he 100% did that shit. We ain't gotta pretend at all. But y'all, let me know your thoughts on this, man. Subscribe to my best to notify. As soon as you subscribe, man, and comment and all that stuff and hit that like button, you're automatically entered to win one of these right here. You're not going to pay for shipping. I don't know why y'all keep asking me that. Bro, am I going to have to pay for shipping? Hell no. I can afford a little 15. It's going to take like 5 to 7 days anyways to get there. You think I'm finna super express this? Hell nah. No. No. I ain't got that type of money. Now, if you want to send me about $100, hey, we could do that. But other than that, I'll catch you on the next one because we got a T-Hood update that's going to blow your goddamn mind away. And one dumbass host from No Jumper decided to pull a brick, baby, and get his ass arrested, man. Y'all don't want to miss this one. Ceddy Nash strikes back.